Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Power of the Pen. I am best-selling author LaWanna Bradford here with my business partner and best-selling author, the amazing Miss Barbara Beckley. How's it going, Barbara?
How you doing, Miss LaWanna Bradford, the amazing LaWanna Bradford?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited because I can't believe that we are about to go into season 3 of Power of the Pen. Season 3.
These
Amazing.
seasons are like going quick. I don't know where they flew by it, but wow, congratulations. That's that's a milestone. That's awesome.
Yes. For
Yeah.
those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are coming at you from e360tv.com. We want to thank our audience there for following us and supporting us over the past 2 seasons. And we are also streaming live on Facebook, and you can find us on all the different streaming platforms. But this platform is designed to help promote, spotlight, and elevate the message and the voice of women. And we do so by spotlighting authors, their written work. And it's also not just books that have been solely written by women, but books that have been written by men as well that have an impact on women and how we elevate, how we expand, how we live to the best and fullest. Um, so I was just reflecting before coming on the show just last season, and this is a final show of season 2, and all the amazing authors and books that we had promoted on this show. And this platform, I think I need to say this, and I'll pass it over to you briefly, and then we'll talk a little bit about previous episodes. But this show is a marketing platform, right, Barbara?
Yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about what we mean by a marketing platform?
Well, I always look at this. I don't know, for some reason, when you said that, what appeared in my head, because I always have pictures in my head when I think of thoughts, as a person going on a diving board, and they're walking on that diving board. They have that board, right? That sturdy foundation. And then all of a sudden at the end, they have to do that jump, and then they jump. Well, I feel like this platform is type of where you're jumping. You did your book, you put all that information in there and all that thought, and just took just every inch of your everything to write it. And then it's like, okay, it's been produced, and now what? But people need to see what you did. You got to market it. You got to put it out there. You got to see, what was the why in your book. All that goes into that. And I think that's where this platform comes into, because now you're getting the visibility and you're getting third party endorsements, and that whole thing starts to arrive. So when we talk about marketing, it's moving to that next level after you said, okay, now I did the book, now I've written the book, now what?
Yeah. Exactly. And this platform, we feature best-selling authors, renowned authors, as well as new authors. And 2 of the authors who we featured last year, unfortunately, we lost them during season 2, and that was the amazing Sidney Poitier. And the book that we featured was Life Beyond Measure, and it chronicles his life, and he wrote this book as a legacy for his granddaughter and grandchildren overall. So it was just an amazing episode. We were able to honor his life, but then again honor his written work. The other known person who we lost was Naomi Judd. And unfortunately, we lost her tragically to what she was fighting against so passionately in her life, and that was suicide. And her book, River of Time, my journey into depression and how I emerged with hope. And we thought it was important to feature. In fact, we were slated to feature that book at the time that she passed away. So it wasn't like, oh, she passed, let's grab this book. It just unfortunately happened to line up that way. But we hope that those who were able to tune into the show, even though her journey ended tragically, that those who have picked up the book and read it found a sense of hope and a greater sense of understanding of what this battle of the mind, the battle of mental wellness is all about. And learning a sense of empathy and recognition of triggers within your life and those around you. And we've also had some collaborative authors that were featured. We did 31 Ways of Influence, Volume 2, and we spotlighted some of the authors. And I'm doing a shameless plug. Both Barbara and I were featured in that book. And this is was a global initiative founded on the biblical Proverbs 31 woman. And I know Barbara's part in the collaboration dealt with purpose, passion, and drive. And mine dealt with strategic positioning. So again, we were showcasing that this platform is not just for that single author, but for the collaborative author as well. We featured Mary Ellen Saganovich, who is a powerhouse. She has a series of books, and we featured Truth Lives, her latest book, and many, many more. All things lovely. I mean, we could just go on and on and on about these amazing books. But we also featured individuals on the spoken word side of the house. And spoken word is another way of saying poets. And we had Hank Stewart, who is a poet laureate, on this platform, showcasing the power of your voice and speaking to women that we need to step into our power, be authentic in our expression, whether it's that verbal expression or written expression. So it's been a great season too, right, Barbara?
It has. And you know, I was just thinking of everything you were talking about from Sidney Poitier to, Hank when he did his unspoken word, which was very powerful, and all the ladies and everything. Is think about it. Every person that's been on the show that expressed their book in some kind of way, living or died, it's a legacy. Think about it. I mean, everybody's leaving little legacies through their book, and that's powerful. Because I'll never forget now that I listen to the different authors that you had on the show, LaWanna, I get something from each and every one of them. And I'm even putting it into play in my own life. So that's how powerful this is. We're talking about a marketing platform, but this is also can be a platform, even though too, of legacy that you're trying to leave in the world. Yeah,
exactly. And season 3 will continue with that. We will have again known authors, authors who have been featured on the New York Times bestselling, to those self-published authors, to those that are in book collaborations. And again, these are messages designed to inspire and lift, educate, and entertain women, or stories that impact the lives of women. So again, whether you're a man that has a book that you feel will influence and help inform and expand the life of women, and you want to be featured on the show, give us a call. And if you're a woman that's out there and you've just got a great book and you want to learn about how you can use this platform to strategic position you to create more reach. Again, it's great that we are on E360 TV with a viewing reach audience globally of 3 million and growing. This is a place to be, ladies and gentlemen. This is really the place to be. And I just want to put this information here. If you are looking to be featured in season 3 on Power of the Pen, send a message of interest to me at LaWanna@BradfordGroupMTG.com. And all you have to enter on the subject line is Power of the Pen. Someone will get back with you and we will get you in the lineup. Right now, we are booking for December and January. The other thing that I want to talk about is some of the training, and I'll turn that over to Barbara. So this is a weaving of the different messages and stories, but also training specifically for authors. Barbara.
Yeah, so we kind of started just to give you just a little tad of some of the parts of training that we do that we're going to be doing moving in season 3. It's one thing to, okay, I put a book together and I have it out there, and oh, by the way, it's an Amazon bestseller. But then it's another thing to really strategically understand how to take that, like what we're doing right here, if you come on the show, like LaWanna has below, and how to take that and educate yourself and give yourself awareness as an author or as a collaborative, person, author, to make sure that you're impacting in different areas. And that's what myself and LaWanna is going to be doing, different series, different trainings, different levels of trainings when it comes to impact, income. I just totally went a blank, and that's bad.
And influence.
Influence, thank you. And influence. The three eyes, as we say.
Yeah, exactly. And you may wonder, well, I can get this anywhere. I can Google. Yes, you can. You can go to Google University. There are numerous trainings that's out there, but what we're coming from is from a lane of experience, our lived experience, what we weren't able to find, or what things were not freely shared with us that created some unnecessary obstacles or hurdles that we had to clear. So we've taken all of these pieces and we said, let's create little digestible nuggets, some teachable moments for authors as they are growing in their path to create more influence, to create more reach with that message. Beyond doing book sales. Book sales are important, but what can you do beyond that? And really tapping into the bigger why message. So some of these are going to be interactive, some informative, and we also will then introduce some of our signature series, which will be our masterclass series. And these we've been working on and designing and fine tuning over the past year, and we are confident that we got the formula just right. And the one thing that I love about the training that Barbara and I will be doing in the master classes is it's customizable to you, the author. So we're giving you this approach, but you walk away with what's going to work for you based upon your message, your target reader, your time, your resource investment. So we're going to, again, guide you through that, through our lived experiences, but through proven formulas of success, which have enabled Barbara and I to be featured on many stages, international stages, with renowned names, and to be able to be paid for our knowledge and knowing how to position that knowledge. And I think the other thing, and I'd like to pass it over to you, Barbara, it's opened the door to some incredible partnerships.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And then that's what we're always saying, because me and LaWanna, we're partners and we see that it works. And I always tell people, if it works, why don't we see if it works with others? I mean, why not? And we found out just through what we do and what we do with our books, and together we learn from each other experience, that we found other people that are doing some other things in that area, and we collaborated with them to make it even more education coming, more knowledge that's coming to you. So when you are writing a book, if you're a collaboration book or your own book, look for those partnerships. That's, I know we want to get paid for the book and everything, but you get payment in other ways too. And partnership and coming together is a payment of its own.
Exactly. And with that, so again, relationships, when they're the right ones, and we talk about the formula in that, whether you're building a strategic partnership or a business partnership, they're different. What that looks like and how do you overlay that partnership to build momentum in what you're trying to do. And ultimately, as an author, if this isn't something that you're doing as charitable work or philanthropic efforts and you're looking to get paid, it's how do you increase your bottom line? How do you genuinely increase that bottom line? And that's part of the things that we're going to work with. We're also going to be featuring, I'm so excited, children authors, because we know that when we're looking to impact legacy, when we're looking to change and influence the next generation, it starts with that conversation, with those stories that help to create, to broaden their little minds of awareness. And so we're going to have some amazing women who have who have written books for adults, but have also crossed into writing children's books. And one of those authors will be none other than Cornelia Brown, who has written the book When Black and White Makes Brown, which deals with diversity, racial acceptance, and the challenge that interracial marriages have had in this country, in the US, and how she overcame to where now she has co-authored a book with her little granddaughter. And that's one of the featured books. So we're real excited about that coming up. Turning it over to you, Barbara.
That, you know what, I'm loving that now the youth, see the youth coming in and collaborating with, their grandmother. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just sweet. And to to leave that purpose of what they're trying to do within, the youth of that. So I was just thinking too, LaWanna, when you're writing a book, another reason and why you want to come to this platform is if you're in a certain area, like say LaWanna, she strategizes. That's her thing. I do the purpose thing. Well, when you come on, you can find your tribe. Your tribe can find you basically and say, oh, well, LaWanna talks about strategizing in business, all that. I need to talk to her. So that gets you out there in that light so you can see your tribes coming to you. And they might have been looking for somebody. And all of a sudden, oh, okay, not only she has a book, she does this for a living. She knows, she lives and breathes it. So that's another reason that's good to come on Power of the Pen and be a part of the training and everything else, because that builds you up to be that expertise.
Yes, and speaking of that, I want to. I hope this is the correct video. I'm not certain, but we're going to play it anyway to show you what platform that we're on. Again, wherever you're viewing us from, you may be watching us on E360, Apple TV, Roku, Samsung TV, or you may be watching us live on Facebook. Our home base is E360 TV, and we want to just do a commercial shout out to them, so that you understand what is happening in that world. That was a funky, wild promo. But we are putting that there to show that we're part of a broader umbrella of just amazing television shows that are designed to educate, entertain, inform, enlighten, and expand. And Power of the Pen is one of those that we are excited to be able to call E360 TV home.
Yes.
So one of the other things that we have coming up is next week begins the official launch of season 3. And we have a book which will be featured by Dr. Teresa A. Smith, and it's entitled Transform with Taz, Healthy Recipes. Again, Transform with Taz, Healthy Recipes by Dr. Teresa A. Smith. So you want to definitely tune in Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern on E360 Facebook and all the other platforms that I just mentioned. This is going to be an amazing show. She's going to talk about her journey with health, why she felt it was so important to translate what she's currently doing as a TV show host, where she provides inspiration and education, but also does cooking, live cooking demonstrations. And she said, you know what? let me take this and translate it to a book. So her book is available on Amazon.com, and we thought that it would just be wonderful to feature her here on Power of the Pen. And actually, Barbara, this is our first cookbook being featured.
I know. I was like, I like transfer wisdom. I like the title. It's like that's gonna be interesting to hear her talk about everything about that book and how she came to it. I know
Yes,
she has
yes.
a lot of good things. Wow.
So again, if you want to be featured on Power of the Pen, we want to hear from you. Please send your email of interest to me, LaWanna at bradfordgroupmtg.com, and enter Power of the Pen in the subject line. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about me and turn it over to Barbara to tell you a little bit about who she is. So I have, as I mentioned, I'm a best-selling author. I've been in multiple collaboration books and have several of my own independent manuscripts in process. It's like, okay, LaWanna, let's get these get these out the door. But what has passioned me about, I've always loved to write. And what I love is that when you speak, right, if it's not recorded, it's hard for individuals to go back and reflect on what was said. But when you put it on paper, pen to paper, now it becomes indelible. It becomes something that a person can reflect on, where they can sit back and maybe be inspired once again, or laugh, or find a way, the how to navigate through life, whether it's in business, in relationships, whatever it may be. And that's what I love about the power of the pen. And I, as a serial entrepreneur, I've been in entrepreneurship for, cannot believe it's over 30 years, but I'm also what is classified as a dualpreneur. I work both in my business and commercial mortgages, as well as a business consultant, where we help both large companies as well as small businesses strategically position for success, intersect the vision and strategies with the money in order to create sustainability. But as a dualpreneur, I also work in the public health industry as a financial analyst and working with workforce development. So designing the future of work and what that looks like. And this platform enables me to take all of that lived experience and create an interview marketing platform to, again, help people strategically position themselves to maximize the success of that message, which will ultimately create that influence, that income, impact, and income. Barbara.
So my name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I'm kind of some of the things that LaWanna said, kind of in the same realm. That's why we collaborate together. As I'm a purpose, visibility, and social media strategist. Now that's my day job. Now the dual of that is I'm also in the finance lane when it comes to insurance. Now LaWanna's talking about years. I'm about to say this too. 39 years I've been in that industry, and I'm like, oh my god. I think I just had an anniversary too. But like LaWanna said, taking what I've learned from there, what I still do, and then on the other side of the fence where I really wanted to get my voice out there a long time ago, and how I did that is basically learning how to get on speaking, leadership, getting my leadership together and everything, to the point where I said I wanted to help women in their business, some of them that maybe was in the same mind frame I was. With that, I really got into my own business, said, okay, how do we do that? How do we get that word out there? Well, you can get it by speaking, but you also get it by writing a book. And at the time when I decided to write my first collaboration book, because I've been many other ones, but the first one I always remember, because that's when I was nervous, I was scared, I was fearful, because not like LaWanna, she's a wonderful writer and everything. I'm opposite. So when I told myself I'll never be able to write a book, because I know that when it comes to the English part, I get through it, just to get through, but I knew I wasn't to that point. And then I met the person, my first collaboration book, the person that was writing, and said, wait a minute, that's why we have editors. That's why we have people that will talk to you. That's why we have ghostwrite. I mean, she just started telling me, she said, I'm trying to show you, Barbara, don't let that stop you from getting your word out to the world. And I'm so glad that happened, because from that point, it seemed like I just went rogue after that. I just started getting in all books and stuff, because I was like, wow, now my voice can not just be talking, but it can go in a book where when I'm gone, people will be reading and hopefully getting value and everything from what I put on pen to paper. So that's why I love this show that LaWanna created. And she's basically highlighting you as an author or a collaboration person to get out there to show why you put that pen to paper and how important it is to put it out there to the world.
And saying what you just said reminded me of another group of individuals that are featured on this platform, and it's very important that we introduce you to them. And we featured 3 key individuals last year, and those are your publicists, your promoters, the ones who can help take that idea and walk you through how to get it from an idea to a published work, yes, to taking it beyond the published work. One individual we had featured was Dr. Tamara Patzer. And Dr. Tamara is the CEO and founder of Blue Ocean Authority. She is a media expert. Mass media expert. So mass media, think about major TV networks and radio. And she has taught at the university level. So we were bringing in that depth of experience where she helps individuals, whether it's writing that individual work or that collaborative work. So creating those introductions, because sometimes you hear all of this stuff on shows and you're like, well, where do I go? Yeah. And she talks about how to evaluate, how to rate. Again, that would be a strategic partner. How do you find the right person who has the credibility and the means and strategies to get you to where you want to go? Another person that we featured was Dr. Darache Zorn, who is also a publicist. And we wanted to feature her because of her international reach. She's doing a lot of work within Africa. So those of you that are looking to go outside of your respective communities or countries and looking to go broader, Africa isn't the only country, but she's doing a dominant work in Africa. That's a person to connect with. And she showcases not only how to get published, but how also to get on her international radio shows with your book. We also featured Dr. Paulette Harper. Is it Harper, correct?
Paulette Harper, yep.
And she has, again, these are very different publicists with a different reach. She focuses on a lot on the faith-based side of the house, but there's some other work that she does that I think we were introducing at that time one of her collaborative books. So creating that introduction, if someone is thinking, wow, I'd like to be a part of the book, but I don't know how, I don't know if I have an entire book in me. That was an introduction to say, here's someone who is about to launch a collaborative book. If you like the direction that she's going and you want to be a part of it, let's make the connection. The two of you have a chitty chat. And again, it's a possible opportunity. We also featured the amazing, one of the top international Amazon influencers, Cyrus Webb, on this platform. And we talked about, again, the importance of the messaging, owning that message and how to show up. And this is a man who's been doing it both in print, radio, and now TV, and has an Amazon TV shows, plural, has been doing it for over 15 years. So again, our goal is to do training, but also bring the resources and other trainings to this platform so that you can be the best that you want to be with your message. Barbara.
Yes, like you said, we're bringing a lot for you again to get you to that next level. Remember, we started off by talking about that marketing platform. Well, this is a whole like a smorgasbord, like they say. If you're going and getting all that food and you can put it on your plate, yeah, that's what you have here.
Yes. Let us show you another little promo video about Power the Pen. So again, just a reminder, you want to be on the show. We want to hear from you. We want to spotlight, feature you and your message, and to introduce you to our audience. Again, we are in season 3. Oops, season 3. Let me remove that. That was one of our little trainings. Actually, let me put this back up. This is important. This is just a sample that came from one of our Power of the Pen training. And this is like an outcome. This is the so what factor of the training. So at the end of the training that Barbara and I did, and when we're talking about the power of collaborating, one of the things is, and this is a freebie, again, we're putting this kind of a wrap up, giving you a little teaser. How do your brands align? That's real important, right? When you're talking about collaboration. So think about you, if you're thinking about being in a collaborative book, does your brand align? Does your vision align with where you're going? Do they esteem the brand, meaning value it the same way you do? Let's say if you're in a book that's around domestic violence, but when you're talking to that person who's a collaborator, as an example, maybe this person has never experienced domestic violence, yet they're going to write a compilation book on domestic violence. There's nothing wrong with that, but will the book have the same level of energy and push and targeted marketing, as it would if you were with a collaborator that had that lived experience, that already knew the types of audiences that he or she wanted to plug and play into in order to create that impact and influence? Is there a clearly defined win-win, right? We talk about partnerships, collaboration. Well, are you in it just for you? Are you looking at how do you create a win-win? It's called collaboration book for a reason. Are you collaborating, or are you just, I got a chapter, my message? And one of the things that Barbara and I joke about is like, okay, how many of you can raise your hand. No one can see you. You're in your own home. But for those of you that have been in collaboration books, did you read the book from end to end, from beginning to end? Did you read the book? Or did you just quickly go to your chapter, make sure it's there, maybe reread your chapter, give yourself a pat on the back because you're so proud of your accomplishment, not to minimize it, that's a good thing, but you're in a collaboration book. Did you read the other stories? Did you care about the other stories? And if not, my question is, why go collaborative? Go solo. Go solo. And there's nothing wrong with either lane, but I personally have an issue with people who have been in collaboration books and they don't collaborate. They don't interface with the other authors. They haven't even taken the time. Maybe you don't want to read end to end, but read a couple of the other chapters. Celebrate the other people who are in the book. And then the last thing, which is so important, do you trust and respect each other? That's not always a guarantee. Do you trust and respect each other? So that's just an example of when we talk about some of our training, we look at our lived experiences, and Barbara and I have created these series of conversations that we want to have with you and for you to have with yourself, to get down to the bottom of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you can, again, create that increased impact, influence, and income. Anything else, Barbara?
No, so far that was wonderful. A little taste.
Well, one thing that we're really, really, really excited about, and this is Power of the Pen in season 3. We decided to create, again, it's a marketing platform. So this is a paid platform. You want to call it pay to play, doesn't matter, but it is a marketing platform because we literally design it for your book to promote your message, to create your impact, your influence, and put money in your pocket. That's what it's for. It's a marketing awareness platform, campaign, whatever you want to call it. That's what it's for. If it were only as a platform designed to solely celebrate the written word. Barbara and I could get all the hundreds and thousands of books that we've read over our lives and do a book talk.
Mhm.
We could just talk about each author in the book and say, hey, here's this book. It's available on Amazon, or here's this classic, or I mean, it's very easy to do that. But we wanted to create, again, a marketing platform for those people who truly are sold out for your message. You're sold out for your own message. You've invested the time in writing it. You invested time in getting it published. Now, are you going to invest the time in promoting it and creating that reach? So there are many avenues you can go out there, but this is one that has systems that are in place to help you. And so we have, and I'll let Barbara read them. We have the basic, and the basic is for what type of author, Barbara?
The basic is for like a beginning, author that's trying to market their new book, just to get some additional exposure for their book, and just have limited resources when it comes to investing in their marketing.
I like that you said that, because we never want money to be an excuse not to elevate your voice.
Mm.
Money should never be an excuse not to elevate your voice. So I like that. Can you read that again? Who is the basic for?
The basis for is that for beginner, author that's trying to market a new author, who wants to get that additional exposure about their book, but has limited resources when investing.
Love that. Love that. Then we have the advanced. So the
Okay.
advanced is for the author who
Their advance is seeking exposure and resources to increase their impact and influence.
I like that. I think the key word there, seeking resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can tell me the how, but it's like, okay, but where are the resources? How, again, it's having the systems, having the processes, having the things to propel you or catapult you even further. So can you read that again? Who is the advanced?
So the advance is the author is seeking exposure and resources to increase their impact and their influence from that book.
I love that. And then we have, and we know those are those rock stars that are out there that are just trying to take it to the next level. We call them the elite. This author is who?
Well, the elite is for the author who is serious about creating awareness to increase that impact, influence, and income with their book, getting speaking opportunities by leveraging an evergreen or, taking those resources to the next level.
I love that. The key word there, and I'm gonna let you describe that person again. You said evergreen. Tell us who this author is one more time.
This author is the serious about creating awareness to increase their impact, influence, and income, 3 I's, with their book and speaking opportunities to leverage evergreen resources.
So thank you so much, Barbara, for defining that. And again, that goes back to one of the trainings that we talk about is the who, right? You wrote this to reach who? Not everybody. Everybody's not going to have an affinity to you, but who? So that's why we wanted to let you know this marketing platform is just that. It's a marketing platform. Tune in next week and you will get to see how we are kicking off season 3 with Dr. Taz, aka Dr. Teresa A. Smith, and in her cookbook. And the 3 platforms. Don't let money be an excuse for you not to get in front of the masses. Again, we have a reach just on E360 TV alone of over 3 million potential audience reach, continuing to grow. We are on Roku, Samsung TV, Apple TV, streaming live on Facebook. So think about that breadth and that reach. And is your message worth the investment? Is your message worth the investment to catapult it farther? Because if you're not tapped into, sold out for your own message, why should anyone pick up the book and read?
Wow, that's good.
Or if it's an ebook, download it. I mean, why? So let's be willing. You invested the time, do whatever you need to do to get the few resources to get that exposure. Again, the advanced, that's the person that wants to take it up a little bit more, and then the elite, it's pretty sweet. It's the package is pretty sweet. What you get. So all three get featured on Power of the Pen, but even the length of the feature differs, right?
Yes.
So from a basic, you're getting 20 minutes. But what does that advanced and elite guest get?
45.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the price of time. So again, this is streaming on a TV platform, a streaming TV network. And all your major networks to have their streaming arm. If you were to be featured on a local ABC network, where you don't have to always go in studio, you can do it virtually, you get 3, max 5 minutes. It averages 3 minutes. For that 3 minute of fame, you are paying $1,500 and up. Think about that. 3 minutes, $1,500 and up. And yes, you were able to see As Seen in ABC, and you have a 3 minute clip. And that's the other thing we talk about, how to take a message that you might train on. It may be an hour mini class that you do. How do you translate that down, distill it down to 3 minutes of powerful, impactful content that makes people want to run out and get your book? Run out and contact you. Run out and give you a phone call and say, can you come speak to my organization? Are you ready for that? Can you do that? Well, if you're tapped into the Power of the Pen community, we show you how. But also the Power of the Pen community, rather than only getting 3 minutes for $1,000 to $1,500, you get a minimum of 20 minutes. And then with the with the advanced and the elite, 45 minutes of targeted conversation about you and your book.
Yes.
That's pretty sweet.
Can I get permission just to give away a little tip? Just a small tip for that 20 and 45 minute. So with that, talking about marketing and springboarding, you can take that interview that you've done of the Power of the Pen, and you can make little clippets of those little power, maybe some power thing that you said within your interview. And you could take that and use that, and guess what? Promote even more about your book. So I'm not going to give too much of that because that's a part of our training too. So I don't want to get deep into that, but this is just giving you something to think about when investing in yourself, when you're trying to get yourself out, when you want to say, okay, this, what I put it pen to paper meant something. How do I let the mass hear this? And these are the ways that myself and LaWanna's talking about to get it out there.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And I just want to add on. So remember, when you're on any one stage, whether it's radio, whether it's TV, streaming TV, podcast, that's considered copyrighted material. Do you know how to actually get the copyrighted material where you can legally repurpose it? We talk about that as well. So I'm so excited. Oh, the major thing. We were going to do it this year, but both Barbara and I, life happens. Life just happens, and you have to pause and deal with your life to get balance back. But we had scheduled for this past August the authors retreat. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it. It's fully developed and designed. Stay tuned for that, because that will be coming in 2023. It will be an in-person event. We're excited. And that goes into a whole deeper dive of the training, positioning, posturing, messaging. And we'd like to see each and every one of you there, but more to come on that. And that is one that we talk about partnership and collaboration. That is something that if our schedules align, Barbara and I will continue that collaborative journey with Dr. Deranche with the upcoming authors retreat. Because Dr. Deranche is doing a lot of international travel in 2023. If we're not able to sync our schedules, Barbara and I will be bringing that to you, and we're real excited about what's happening with that. So we will either be in the Miami area or in Atlanta. One of those two places. It's kind of up in the air, but we're real excited about what we have for those authors that want to just come together in a retreat format to just even brainstorm your next journey or your current book that you're writing. So it's not just a writing workshop. It's a little bit deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Barbara, it's been great working with you for season 2.
Yes. Onward to season 3. We are ready and moving already. Loving it.
Yes. Well, stay tuned. Again, tune in next. At Power of the Pen airs every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern on E360 TV, streaming to Facebook, Roku, Apple TV, Samsung TV, and other platforms. We have now our podcast, Spotify, and others that we are tied to. So again, exposure is getting is on overload right now. And next week we will have Dr. Teresa A. Smith and talking about her latest cookbook. So tune in, join us if you want to learn more about not only about how to increase your wellness, but how to get involved in the kitchen, designing your own healthy meals, and not stressing over it. Because she says it just takes one meal at a time. Right? Don't go crazy. Don't run to the supermarket and have just baskets of all this produce, and then you're like, now what? So easy, simple strategy. So we look forward to seeing you season 3 for more of our authors, some training tips, and our training series. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Want to be on Power of the Pen, send your message of interest to LaWanna at Bradford Group, MTG.com. And all you have to do is enter Power of the Pen in the subject line. Power of the Pen in the subject line. And until next week, Barbara and I will say good day for now. And just remember that in life, in business, it is your responsibility to take ownership of your voice. Use the power of the pen and realize that when your vision intersects with opportunity, success is inevitable. Bye, everyone. Be safe out there. Did you say bye, Barbara?
Bye.
Okay, my system is freezing on me.
Oh, well.
Oh, I know. Barbara, give us a quote for the day. Give us a quote.
A quote?
A quote before we sign off. Something to think about.
Something to think about.
Your week.
Something to think about. The 3 F's real quickly. Always tend to have fun. Second, always fast action, especially if it comes right to you. That means it's something that you need to do. And always look for the facts in your life to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. So fun, fast action, and facts. 3 F's.
Love that. Remember the 3 F's this week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.